Yeah, Sky Woodward and Serge Lutsker. Lutsker, I think, actually, is a more of a ooh in the Lutsker.
I always get excited watching Skylar play.
Oh,
I think he's such a fantastic player.
Yeah, I agree. And he's fun to watch. You know, he has the.
Sorry, we have to interrupt you because the feed is cut.
Oh, okay.
We start over.
Watch your head up here, you know that. So how long we got?
Let us know, Mike.
I think
I'll do a nice,
maybe 1 minute.
Yeah, I'll do like a nice out next time. So
Yeah,
just join us in a second, basically. Join us in a minute.
В этом сезоне я выиграл очень много турниров в России, но, к сожалению, не смог взять какие-то титулы в Европе. Сыграл, в принципе, неплохо, постоянно входил там в топ-16, топ-32. В рейтинге Евротура тоже в топ-32 вхожу. Но именно каких-то значимых результатов в этом году не случилось, за исключением Чемпионата Европы командного, где я выиграл 5 матчей из 6 и помог команде взять медаль. То есть, я считаю, что это крутое достижение, учитывая, кого я обыграл. Это было тяжело, и по командам это было круто,
эмоции. Just hope I break better and get a couple chances. I love team events. It's always fun, more pressure, and you always got people behind you cheering you on no matter what. So yeah, I love team events.
Dreamchallenge 2019 – событие мирового уровня, которого мы все так долго ждали. Итак, сборная России ведет со счетом 2-1. Давайте поприветствуем участников первого одиночного матча. Итак, сборная России. Сергей Лутскер. Поддерживаем нашу команду. США. Skylar Woodward.
Well, our MC for the evening, Anastasia Lupova, has just asked the crowd to give some more round of applause for Team Russia, and just, you could hear this venue almost bursted.
Oh yeah. And as to be expected, but just like last year's Moscone Cup, I thought it was really a good thing being away from home. Thought it toughened the guys up and created a lot of focus. So it appears Skylar Woodward has won the leg. Now here's Sky Woodward to break off in the first game against Serg. Okay, he's made 3 balls. Is that right? Oh, yeah, 3. He's got a nice starter on the 2. Oh no, he's made 2. Excuse me. The 5 hung over the side. Oh no, that's the 1. Excuse me. The overhead camera fools me with the 1 ball and the 5 ball a little bit.
You're all right. Would you like a coffee or something?
Well, I'm stressed out already a little bit.
You're stressed out a little bit.
Of course.
Sweating your team, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, Jeremy. It's only early days.
Oh, he got a lot out of that cue ball there. And Skylar, a guy that really has all the tools. There's nothing missing, and one fierce competitor, even though he's a very relaxed man to be around. Always having some nice jokes, and he's really witty. I'm rooming with him this week, so Doesn't matter what I say, he's always got a comeback.
He definitely does, doesn't he?
Yeah, I've given up. I can't outwit him, that's for sure. Okay, so he wants to get the cue ball back in the position it's at now, because he definitely wants some angle to get around the 8 or come across for short side on the 7. Okay, he hit that well and really kind of ideal with the cue ball. Now this is going to be a big decision because he can't afford to fall straight on the 7. So if he comes across and plays short side on the 7, which I think is correct, he's going to have to play a little bit of a cut shot down the rail.
I believe even if he followed straight, he could have banked the 8 cross side.
Yeah, but you don't want to bank the 8 from on the rail. On the 8, some distance, it's in the middle, kind of near the middle diamond, so it's not going to be easy. I think he can just kind of punch out here. It looks like he's going way forward with the cue ball all the way up to the head rail. Wow, so if that tells you anything about how comfortable he is here to start this match.
And he didn't fear that side pocket at all, driving the 7 past it.
Well, and that's the thing, when you're shooting that type of shot, you still have to realize you got to go down the rail with the object ball. You can't try to like cheat the shot any and pull the object ball off the rail. So you have to flirt with that point you were talking about on the side pocket. Ooh, caught that 9 a little thick to the pocket. These guys having a bit of fun there, trying to stay relaxed. And the pace of play has been incredible. Really, really fast, and well, not like worrisome fast, but definitely at a nice pace here in our opening evening.
Well, last year Skylar Woodward was involved in one singles match and he won it.
Well, Serge, one thing he can definitely do is break the balls. You won't see him back off the break at all.
But at the same time, do you remember, Jeremy, he made one of the worst mistakes on the break. He miscued.
Yeah,
last
I do
year.
remember. He also, that's when he got 3 fouled. He got 3 fouled by Billy Thorpe, was it? It was Billy, I think. Okay, he pulled the cue ball out a bit, which is not something you do so much playing 9-ball. You stay a little closer to that side rail generally. Okay, so an elevated shot on the 1 here, but one you're sure happy to have off your opponent's break. Okay, no, he can cue the ball, so makes this a good 20% easier rather than being over the 2. And one thing about Skylar is he doesn't use as much side spin as a lot of guys. So when it comes to this table that's so slick, where deflection of the cue ball can be such a problem, it doesn't seem to affect him near as much. Now it gets to everybody at some time or another. That's just how it is. But you'll see him, he won't struggle with it near as much as most.
Yeah, I remember the same thing being told about Darren Appleton and Carl Boyce when they first came to the States with all these English pool experience where they have to use many stand shots instead of applying too much English.
Sure.
And just, everybody notices how just different their overall position play is.
Yeah, well, they're very witty guys too, and that's where, like, on this table, you stay away from the top inside English, going 3 rails with the cue ball. Much better to play short side position, kind of like he did on the 7 in the last game. Just little changes on these types of tables that are really, really important. But even there, applying the inside, he still won't put heavy inside English on it. He just gets a tip, half a tip out, unless it's really, really necessary. And that may be the key to these tables, Michael, is keep everything to a minimal unless it's really necessary.
By the way, Jeremy, I wonder what is one tip above or below center to you? Is it full tip above or just maybe actually only half?
I would say a full tip, yeah, a full tip.
There's way too much technical talk here for me.
Well, the game has evolved so to where when it comes to equipment, everything else, it's just there's a lot more science in the game than there ever has been.
Everything's developing, as well as the players as such.
And a quick run out here in game 2, and I think Serge may have to try to go to that side rail in his next break. Like I said, generally in 9-ball, you stick much more to the side rail break than you do pulling the cue ball out towards the center.
So it's 2-0 here to Skylar Woodward against Serge from Team Russia. And we are in our 4th match of the evening of the ABN Billiards Dream Challenge. Here at the Bazaar Club. I think I pronounced it wrong.
Yeah.
Bazaar?
Yeah, Bazaar is correct. Yeah,
Bazaar, yeah.
Well, actually, it's the base.
The
Yeah.
base.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So, yeah.
And you see the decorations are made so just to remind you of actually some kind of a warehouse or...
Yeah.
Right.
It's the nicest looking warehouse that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's done a great job here at the pool room, the pool center, you might say.
The pool hub.
That's right. Great food, great service. Oh, horrible kiss on the cue ball there. So that's going to bring Serge to the table. We're going to get to see him try and attack this run out.
Yeah, and actually talking about this very pool hall, you don't get to see very often that bright lighting.
No.
Yeah, it's more like a sports hall or whatever.
Right.
Which is much better for these athletes now coming in. The younger guys, they are athletes, aren't they? This is a sport.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
it's becoming more professional, which is exactly what I like to see as well.
Yeah, and the guys are treating it so, and it's not, we don't quite have a 50-week schedule or 40-week schedule like all the other sports just yet. But
We're working on it.
Yeah, they want to take a full advantage of the big tournaments they do get to play in, and this is certainly one of them. So immediately to me, in a year's time, I can see Lutsker much more mature at the table and taking a little more time.
It's just even watching this, opening my eyes slightly to when we do our World Cup of Pool, for instance, and having Team Russia in. There are so many candidates as well that, from the choosing for Russia, and they're just such strong players. And like you said, they're all sort of here together as well. And it'll be interesting for next year's World Cup of Pool.
Yeah, and you can see, especially with a guy like Vladimir, really pushing the youth part of it here in Moscow and Russia itself, actually. He showed me a bunch of pictures last year of some special things he's done with the juniors, so I expect this country to really be one of the dominant forces in not too much time.
Well, I'd love to see some young blood actually on Team Russia, because basically we have the same squad that played here 2 years ago.
Right.
Which to me just maybe kind of shows there is no progress between the youngsters.
Well, you got to look at the guys that you have, right? Besides Stepanov, they're all young guys that are still improving as well. You look at Federer 2 years ago, he was a great player then, but you can say he's much better now.
Of course.
Along with Serge and Dudadets and
go see
Ruslan
how much
himself
better
also.
Federer is going to be in 2 years from now.
Right.
And you can hear by the crowd here that Serge takes that rack. And so he is trailing just by 2 racks to 1, I believe, against Skylar Woodward.
And breaking.
And breaking.
Yeah, and then we'll see if he changes that break. But, a guy like Federer or Ruslan, they're at the level now. If in the next 2 years they improve 5 to 8%, that's a big jump. It's not like an amateur that is going to make big leaps and then plateau a little bit and then another big leap. These guys, of course, consistency is probably the most improvement for the best players in the world.
And I love to see obviously we see Team USA sitting there. It's so good to just see them all just sitting together. I don't know whether they've been told they actually have to sit there, so I'll take that back if so. But just that they're all supporting one another and they're actually a team in this team event.
Well, they want to. You'll see the guys, maybe whoever plays the next match, going towards the end of this match, maybe go hit a rack or two on one of the practice tables real quick. But for the most part, they're going to be there, just like when Tyler won a few days ago.
Yeah.
Is he going to jump here?
I think he's got an edge. I think he's got a piece of it. Not 100% on that. And if he doesn't, he's going to have to roll out to a jump or take the jump right then. Okay. Oh, he let him see it, and I think that's smart. You don't want to roll out there to a jump. You're kind of trapping yourself. That's another thing that Skylar's really good at, is making decisions in big situations. Not only is he so talented, but he'll survey this a little bit, and then I'm sure.
I don't think there is a risk of scratching as long as you slow roll.
As long as you slow roll it and you make it from off the rail and all that, yeah. That's like one of them Xbox games. You just hit the button, huh, Michael? Okay, so he's passing this, I believe, and with a 2-1 lead, and Woodward breaking next. If there's some doubt there, I think this is a good decision. Now, is he banking this by? Yeah, like that. And that's going to, I think, be too much. Yeah, it's going to give up a cross bank. Well, maybe not. Now, can he flick off the left side of the one and carry down below the 3-4 with the cue ball?
I believe this is the only option he's got.
Yeah. And I think he can get past the side with it as well. Now, he won't cover up the one, I don't believe. I think the one will run into the 7 or somewhere around there, so it's all cue ball. Yeah, like that. A pretty nice effort overall. And I think Skylar made a good decision on passing the rollout, knowing that there was a chance of getting snookered, but there wasn't a whole lot of security in that shot by Serge. And I think Serge made a nice shot, too, trying to get the snooker. He was just in a tough position. Now, this is one you may see him roll in. You may see him try to roll this in because cue ball's going to hit the 7 and come to the back rail. And with the 8 being there, some good things can happen. Don't think I shoot this hard. I think I roll it in easy if I'm going to go offensive.
He could see enough of the one ball in an attempt to attack it, actually, and made a scratch.
Yeah, but he hit the one awfully thick. But I think even if he had hit it towards the hole, I think there was a good chance of scratching at that speed. So Skylar kind of sizing up that 3 ball. Seeing if it's easy to play it in the side pocket from about where the 2 ball's at right now.
Is this looking like sort of an easy enough rack for Skylar to take this here?
Yeah, and you know, when these guys start with ball in hand, the percentage just goes. It's like when you're winning a match and your opponent's kind of dogging it a little bit or not playing well, and then you scratch on the break. It's like the greatest alarm clock there ever is in pool. It wakes you right on up. That ball in hand does. Now he's ended up quite a bit shorter there than I thought he would, but a nice recovery. Well, he's a little elevated. So this is where the pocket's pretty big, as long as he doesn't get very punchy with the stroke. It's easy to get punchy when you're elevated, though. Okay, a nice shot.
Punchy with the stroke.
Huh?
Talk me through punchy with the stroke.
Well, just a little quick, you know, just
okay,
just a short kind of jabby stroke. So.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the jab stroke is just another part of technique to be learned. Actually, just in case you need it.
Yeah, no, and don't get me wrong, we make a lot of little slight punch shots, right? But there's still a degree of getting too quick with it. It's more of a flat ball hit, and that's why you do have to add a hair more speed than regular strokes. But there's still, like I said, a point to where you get a little hard and get a little jumpy.
And so this will go 3-1 to Team USA. Skylar Woodward. And sorry, I nearly fell off my chair just a minute ago. So we're getting our US Open ticket reports through. So we just went on sale with our tickets.
Oh,
and
great.
I've just seen the first, we went on sale 2 hours ago. and they're pretty strong.
Well, that's great.
I've been sitting there reading it and going, oh God.
Oh, that's great.
Nearly
Exactly
sort of
what
jumped
you
with
want.
excitement in the middle of the match there.
Well, you could only imagine as quick as the field.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
filled
maybe like
up,
2 weeks
excuse
or
me, yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, we're a little bit sad because in the office we have a big whiteboard and we put in there, we give ourselves like goals. How quick are we going to sell out the US Open field? And we put in there certain weeks, certain days, and we beat our own record and our own goal, which is always exciting. But
And right now the waiting list might be like over 50 names, right?
it's over 100.
Oh my.
Over 100, and we've got players that, you know, big name players that are saying,
waiting
come
list?
on, I've got 1,000 ready, and I'm saying, no, you know, we've got a full list. You've
Right.
got to
Go ask
sign
for
up.
two.
Right.
Yeah, go on the waiting list. And they're like, me on the waiting list? No,
Yeah,
that's what's
well.
got to happen.
It's pretty crazy, I guess, but they were fair warned that they had to know it was going to feel right.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, our spectators' tickets just went on sale this evening. Matchroom Pool Club early subscription. They get the early pre-sale, and then we have our general sale on Wednesday.
Okay,
Next
so he wants to go offensive, but he's trying to figure it out. Do I slow roll this? Because he's going to end up on the end rail with the cue ball. Maybe the one becomes a very difficult shot. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a chance here and puts a lot of speed on the cue ball shooting this combination.
Yeah, I like this one.
At least you know you're not on the end rail, right? I mean, you could get snookered because you're not 100% where the one's always going to go. And that's exactly what has happened. But he had to take that chance, I believe. If there had been some type of easy safety, he may have passed on that combination, but there really wasn't. So this will be a jump bank, I believe, to the lower right-hand corner pocket. The main reason for that is the jump's a little easier because he only has to go over an edge of the 5 to get to that side of the 1. And he's got an element of maybe getting safe, bringing the cue ball up table near the 2.
Only 4 seconds left, though.
Oh, he jumped, tried to cut it. So he was trying to get some separation there as well.
Should he have maybe taken his extension there and just...
I think he took it already
took it
whenever
already?
he was looking at that 1-4 combination because there was some
Yeah, correct,
time.
yeah.
He did pretty well with the jump here, though, taking a chance of making it and bringing the cue ball back. So I don't think Serge can go offensive here. And anytime you're snookered, you're pretty happy if your opponent has to play safe off of your return.
Okay.
So at least you're going to get another opportunity at the table. I may kick this right in the corner. Oh, this is going to give up. No, no.
That's fine.
That's okay. So here's we're going to see the jump cue quickly. You're going to see a lot of that bottled water being drank over the next 3 days. I think that heart monitor, that raised heart, has something to do with the dry mouth when you're competing.
Oh, that's my favourite part.
The jump.
Oh, yeah. Wow, nice shot. I'm liking this Serge player.
Oh, he's a fun one.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's a fun one. And a good guy, really good guy. Boy, he didn't hit any rail there. That was just perfect. And I'm sure these guys help each other as far as that stuff's concerned, because a guy on his team, Federer, is probably one of the best with the jump cue there is.
I wanted to applaud with myself then. He's sitting here applauding with the crowd.
And just to look so far, Serge is showing us all the beauty of the game of pool,
He is indeed.
all the variety of shots.
He's got a bit of a funny one here, just because he's got to apply a little English, I believe. Okay. So now, again, a little out of line, so he's got to be a little concerned about the 8-ball coming across. Should be okay, though.
Konstantin Stepanov was all eyes into the game, onto the table there.
But there's certain players, right? You just know it's going to raise your heart rate as a teammate just because their style of play. That's just how it is. And
Sure.
but I sure would like to have somebody that I know knocks the ball in well like Serge does. Maybe it'll make you a little bit more nervous at times, but and on the respective teams, probably the two straightest shooters here playing each other. Oh my.
As you said that.
Well, I was trying my hardest, Emily.
Oh, used some extra on that pocket.
Yeah, that's just the slick conditions. It's actually a standard Diamond Pro Cut table. So it's just the new cloth, the lights.
Well, yeah, you are usually okay when hitting the rail on the way to the pocket, but like with this angle,
Yeah, it stands up a lot.
So I believe that's 3-2
Yes, it is.
that Serge is trailing by against Skylar Woodward. And it is a race to 5 in this match, which is the same throughout the entire tournament. Alternate break.
I didn't notice. Did he move more towards the side rail in his last break? Because he broke dry in his first with the cue ball out about a diamond's width. Okay, he's a little more in, I think, but not much. I think that's going to offer more dry breaks because you really never make the one. Oh, he's going to get the 4 down. Okay. But you really never make the one in the side when you pull the cue ball out that far. So we'll see if he keeps that up. So he's got a nice angle to come 1, maybe 2 rails dropping down for the 2 ball. And he fell underneath it, which is going to be nice also. Should follow out 1 rail probably for the 3 in the upper side pocket.
Yeah, just towards that wrecking area, slightly farther.
I thought he had more angle to where he had to go further down
he's
the table.
Perfect
Yeah,
on the right side of the ball.
No, that's good. That way he can stop pretty much and play the 5 and slide
Just a
over
little
for the 6.
stun draw.
Now, do you threaten trying to get really straight on the 6? That way you don't have to worry about the 8? Because if you draw over like that, there's a chance of overdoing it and getting behind the 7. Okay, I think that's a smart play. Just go ahead and figure out how the kiss on the 8's gonna happen, and the 7's right there for position.
That's a better choice. I like that.
Yeah. Security is important.
At times, some players tend to try to be too perfect, I would say.
Sure.
Whereas, good position is enough.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try and draw off the top of the 8 and let the 8 open up and to where the 7 will pass in the same pocket he's shooting the 6. Very natural shot like that.
It's funny to see how Serge's heart rate is actually lower than Skylar's right now.
Mm-hmm. Very calm, actually.
Yeah, very calm. How old is Serge?
21.
Yeah, very young. Stepping off, I think, what is he, about 37, 38?
35.
35, okay. And then
Looking older, yeah?
Well, I've known him a long time, so. And then we got Ruslan that's 26, Federer that's 20, I believe, right?
19.
Oh, he's 19,
Still,
okay.
yeah.
And Dudadets, which is 20 years old, maybe?
21.
21, okay, yeah, so very young Russian team.
So Serge takes that, and it's now 3 apiece here against Skylar Woodward.
And you see, like our young stars are almost of the same age, like being brought all together, competing since early childhood one another.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep thinking about the World Cup of Pool Team Russia team now.
Yeah,
That's
right.
all I'm watching, and that's all I can think about.
Just, I suggest that you allow us to bring 2 teams.
Oh, no, we're never breaking those rules. Unless Russia want to come and host the World Cup of
You know,
Pool, then you can have 2
I was
teams.
frustrated to see that the team which is already in the main draw is not allowed to take part in the qualification.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
For the Mosconi Cup. Sorry, for the World Cup of Pool.
Say it again, though.
I think you used to run some kind of qualifying tournaments, like between like Romania and Belarus and like other countries.
Oh, I think that you still
Which
do,
are
right?
not on the main draw, right?
Yeah, and one thing that we're trying to do now, especially for the World Cup of Pool, is to try and encourage doing qualifiers and to try and actually go off of the rankings and things like that. So then it gives the opportunity so players can actually look at it and go, right, if I play these events and I, you know, earn my way up the rankings, then I can actually play in events like the World Cup of Pool. So it's not, you know, I'm friends with this person or I play well with this person sort of thing. So it's definitely a direction that we're really trying to head into. Some countries it's hard because there aren't qualifiers that are there as such. And for instance, the World Cup of Pool this year, the 2 co-brothers, I mean, they were a great partnership that, to pair up together. But that's definitely what we're trying to head in. And now I'm just watching Team Russia and watching Serge. It's, you know, getting me thinking on the World Cup.
Okay, well, Sky Woodward, he's going to have to move the cue ball from the 5 to the 7, and that's, he could draw back and try and get kind of heavy on it. I would probably stay with the angle to go back and forth myself. But this is the type of shot on the 5, on this table, you have to really be in tune to try and go 3 rails with inside to get position on the 7. But like I said, Skylar stays pretty in tune with these types.
Yeah,
so
just 2 rails back and forth.
that's what I like,
It's
2
pretty
rails.
fine, yeah.
Instead of inside. I like trying to replace the 5 ball right now going back and forth. Like that. Oh, he missed it. Wow.
I was going to
He
say, I just said
undercut
like
it
that.
pretty severely.
Wow. Didn't expect that. Now, does the 5 have a pocket to the upper right-hand corner? It's very tight, but I think it does. Okay, he's looking at the other corner now, so that tells you how tight it is going by the 8.
I still believe it goes.
It's a pretty decent size. It's not an easy shot, but the angle is a little.
That's a blind pocket first.
It is, but you know, the good thing about the blind pocket is you got to trust what you're looking at. I mean, you're going to be pretty accurate, I believe. Just like all these shots, I like betting on the guys to make them more than miss them. Yeah.
Nice. Lovely shot. I'm impressed by this, by Serge so far. I'm really impressed. It's a great setup that they have in here. The arena looks fantastic. It's nice to see so much effort and hard work that goes into it. And I think the branding looks brilliant. And
I believe that was with the help of a mushroom pool.
yeah, well, I don't want to say, no.
So Serge with a pretty routine 9. He's going to be stretched a bit, but to get on the hill first and will be breaking.
Okay. And Serge leading for the first time in this match. 4-3 against Skylar Woodward in a race to 5 format.
And Skylar, of course, he may not get an opportunity to redeem himself after that miss on the 5, but he's got to stay positive. Just in case he does get to the table.
And he is up next in the doubles match with Shane Van Boning, so it's important for him to, you know, keep his head in the game and just try and clear this out of his mind.
And Shane hasn't played, even though he ran out both times in the opening team match, but he hasn't played since. But he's a guy that's always ready, it seems like to me.
It was interesting earlier in the World Cup of Pool this year that, I mean, you were there yourself, Jeremy, Skylar and Shane. You were looking out for them to be so strong in the tournament, and they didn't, you know, it just seemed like it just didn't really work out for them for this year. So,
and I was, you know, not concerned at the results really. I mean, those things happen. It just it seemed like Shane wasn't himself that week a little bit. You know, he's normally a guy that's really on point with a lot of things, and it's just for some reason or another, and I don't really contribute that onto their loss. That's just how pool goes. But it's another dry break here, and some type of open look at the one. So Skylar's going to get the first opportunity to either play safe or go for some type of offensive shot. I think the safety is it. I don't really see anything playable offensively. Now is he going to try and knock the one between the 2-9 around table and try to hold the cue ball? And this is all about controlling the one, because you may not control the cue ball. Yeah, and that's the problem. Did he get it? He overhit it, so he's going to need some fortune.
And he gets it.
Somewhat, yeah. Serge can actually cut at this to the upper left with a high ball, and the cue ball should come 2 rails towards the 2. And it's really the safest shot you have as well.
look at Skylar's heart rate there.
Yeah, it's up there. And Serge's is actually raised as well. Oh, a 2-9 combination possibly? No, it's fallen below quite a bit. I'm not sure the 2 passes in the side, so he's going to bang the 2 up table and cue ball into the 5. Something like that.
Yeah, that would be a good option to go.
And with the 5 being there, he can really not worry about the cue ball so much. Okay, nice shot. And Skylar may look at this twice, because not only does he have to get over the 9, but the 3 is really a little bit of a problem as well. So they may have to look at the kick shot.
Going airborne.
Yeah, and he's going to knock the 2 back up table, I believe, and try and draw it to the side rail like that. He needs another bump on the 2. He didn't get it. Still may be okay. I think he's left a shot. He has left a shot for, yeah, I think he can make that. He's acting like maybe not, but I believe he can. Yeah, he can definitely make that.
Well, once again, no matter what, we need some extra attention from the ref.
Well, if he tries to go rail first to make it, I think he's going to foul. But I think he can go straight at the ball. He overcut it. Okay, so, but he snookered Skylar. Oh, he fouled. Oh, wow.
I didn't want to say it because I feel like I'm not a professional, but I was like, I think that was a foul.
No, that was great. I missed it myself.
As soon as you see the 6 ball was supposed to be 42, that is a foul. So don't be shy.
Okay. Skylar's got to be a little careful here. And because you don't want to get straight on the, I like him doing this right here, drawing out instead of using the rail. You don't want to get straight on the 3.
It's just so impressive that they can just jump up and look at all these different variations of the shot and obviously have to make this decision in like 30 seconds. And I don't envy being the player out there.
Yeah, so much different at the same time also. After making a big mistake in the last rack, he has to recoup as well.
Yeah.
Whereas this is where he's gotten that straight in kind of, so, and stretch. So hopefully he can get this cue ball off the rail for the 4 on the side, most likely. But unlike like a golfer, when he hits a bad shot, they get to walk it off. They have someone there to talk to him, to help him out. And
well, they've got more space to walk it off.
yeah, exactly. But I think it really helps those guys, actually. Even more so than the caddy at times. Okay, so Skylar has flirted with that shot clock a few times.
Speaking of shot clock, Jeremy, how much is enough? I mean, like, what do like 35, 45 being allowed for the player? per
No,
shot?
I think 30 is okay. I think we played with a 35 for the most part when I played the Moscone.
Yeah, it was 35 and then dropped down to 30.
Yeah, and then but I always felt myself, and I wasn't the fastest of players because I had to use a lot of powder for my hands before I played with a glove and things like that. And of course, you sweat when you're playing the Moscone Cup. But I always felt like I was almost always in position around 14, 15 seconds. So, for the most part anyways. You know, of course, some of them took more time. And
Oh, that's pretty quick.
yeah, not bad. Well, of course, that was with 35 seconds. So, if you do the math, that would be, okay, I think he thought he was going to catch the 9 coming in.
Because, like, do you know they have some, they started keeping stats in snooker about, like,
how fast the players are playing.
the average per
The
shot,
average speed, yeah.
and just they publish the rankings just to send the single, I think, to the slowest of them.
It was a great move because it was just showing that, you know, these players are playing slow as such, and it was just a little kick up the backside to just
Right.
say, you know,
Isn't it kind of shaming, or?
probably.
Yeah. Well, you have that in pool. In pool, we know the guys that are a little exceptionally slow, yeah.
If you
Or
don't
extra
have any
slow,
kind of
maybe.
proof, yeah?
Well, no. But all those, you know, all the sports, I think playing in a timely manner is important.
And so Skylar pulls it to 4-all here.
In our first hill-hill match.
First hill, and he will be breaking.
Last year, Skylar actually won one on the hill.
Well, I know he won an important one on the hill the last day of the Moscone Cup against Alvin Ocean. Wow, what a match. Both of them played just pretty much perfect.
The whole of last year's event is kind of just like a bit of a blur to me. Cause
Yeah.
I just feel like you just sort of just sweat the whole thing, and it's just
I understand
crazy.
that for sure. I'm you know, I remember certain shots for sure,
Yeah,
you know, of course. But that match in particular, just because it got us on the hill and how well it was played. And I think as far as when people ask me about last year's Moscone, how do I feel about the win? I think not only winning, but they won in style. You know, both teams played at a very high level. So they almost had to take it away from the Europeans after some 8 or 9 years of defeats.
And it was an
8 in a row, yeah.
Yeah, 8.
It was an enjoyable tournament because there was the fight between both of the teams, and it was competitive, and it just showed through the amount of people that obviously tuned in and watched it.
Okay, he's going to get a shot on the 1. It's not an easy one. What's the 2 going to do? All right, so this is a prime example of deflection. Normally if this ball's missed on this type of table, it's missed thickly into the bottom rail just because of deflection.
He can go past the 5, I suppose.
2 rails out, right?
Yeah.
But you have to
I
have.
just maybe using even the 3 to stop it.
Yeah, well, you have to have right English on this shot as well as the draw. So, like I said, whenever you get a little quick, it's usually missed thick, but I think you'll be all right. Not an easy shot, though, under the pressure.
By any means, right?
Mm-mm. Okay, it looks like he's spinning it more rather than drawing it. And that's okay. Yeah, that's what I mean about hitting it thick. Yeah, that's just the tendency just because of how slick the table is. You know?
Yeah, you were already talking about cue ball deflection and these conditions.
Yeah. So, and this is one that Serge will go for.
I want to see his heart rate. Show me his heart rate.
Who's that, Skylar's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like it's pounding right now.
probably is.
I bet it's going to up as long as Serge is going to get this rake down to the 9 ball.
And he's got to really kind of hit it with straight English to hold position for the 2. And he's a little bit over the 3, so he's got to be very careful playing all ball fouls. He's already taken his extension. He knows if he can bury this one, it's probably a match winner. And he hit it thick as well.
Kind of the same shot for Skylar now.
Yeah, and it's not quite the type that's as free as it may appear at first, meaning like you can go at it offensively and you're going to carry the cue ball down the table. So he's just got to bear down and roll this in. He's got plenty of angle to come on down. And I think the straight English shot helps him more to be honest with you. Like if he was addressing a shot that he had to apply English, what about the 2-9 in the side?
Yeah.
Wow. That's very close to on, or a kiss shot on the 2 off the 9 in the corner, Michael. It looks to me as very doable. So he may play both here.
Go on, Skylar.
Yeah, the two off the 9 in the corner is a big pocket. Yeah. Okay, he's playing the combination.
And this is the kind of situation we like. 9-ball for these two-way shots.
He played the safety. He played the safety as well. So a smart play by Wood. I think he's got to play a masse kick shot here. If he
because I don't see any two-rail escape.
Well, if he does even have the two-rail escape, the scratch in the side pocket is huge from that angle, Michael. So I think he's got to come to the end rail and bend the cue ball. He's only got a full hit here, and if he hits the top side of this, he scratches in the corner. So this is a difficult one here. Okay, and he's bumped the 4 up a little bit, which I'm not sure really helps Sky, but I don't think it hurts. I know we're on our first day, but I'm getting the clammy hands like this is a big point for Team America right here. So he's going to follow to the side rail and then swing the cue ball. Now, it doesn't grab the English quite as much, so he's got to dodge the contact on the 6. Or is he going to go by the 6, in between the 6-8 maybe?
You're right, though. This is a huge point for Team USA.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
think
if
so.
someone's going to do it, it is Skylar.
Right. I know it's early, you know, we're going to 10, but...
It is early, but it sets up that confidence and...
Yeah, he plays right back in the next match with Shane.
I'm sorry, Mike, it's super bias in here. Jeremy and I, that's very Team USA.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
we all know that Jeremy is so knowledgeable about the game of pool. You just sit here and just inhibit all the information he shares. And
I'm learning so much from him right now. It's unreal.
Well,
I think as soon as this match ends, you, Emily, are able to get to the table and run out.
Definitely not.
Okay.
I'm going to stick to what I'm good at.
He doesn't have an extension, so he's got to go.
Skylar, come on.
He got there. He's going to not like his position on the 6, though. Oh, my.
He's straight in.
Yeah, but he's on the rail, and if he's a hair off angle, it's one of the funniest shots in pool. Like it appears like it's much of a cut, but it's really not. This is one you really got to stay still with. He's fired it in.
Split the heart of the pocket.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Who is the best shot maker in Team USA, apart from Shane?
Well, I think
put him on
Skylar's
the
the best shot maker on our team, actually. I mean, of course, they all shoot straight, but...
Then no wonder.
Yeah, right.
Huge point here for
Yeah.
Team USA.
I thought, I said it earlier that I think for the 2 teams that these are the 2 straightest shooters pairing off.
That's 5-4 to Skylar Woodward against Serge, which takes USA to level against Team Russia in the ABNbilliards Dreamchallenge. Big point there for Team USA to just trail back to level with Team Russia. And Skylar Woodward nice and comfortable there, so he can go into his doubles match with Shane Van Boning, which is coming up next against Fedor Goss and Ruslan.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Okay.
2-2-2 with a race to 10.
How many you got on there? 2.5?
Yep. 2.2. Great heart.